Have you ever had plans to go out and then decided that you'd much rather stay at home? If you're like me, that's happened more than a couple times. A few months ago I was visiting with my friend and grill enthusiast Matt Langford, and that exact thing happened. We opened the refrigerator looking for something that we could cook for dinner and then realized all we had was a frozen steak. I had grilled a steak from frozen before, so I knew we could do it, and I also knew that in the past few years, it's become a thing. What I didn't know was that it was going to be the best steak that we had grilled and enjoyed in a long time. We started with a thick-cut cab boneless ribeye that was a little more than 1.5 inches thick and plenty for 2 people. We brushed it all over with olive oil and seared it over direct heat for a couple minutes on each side. We seasoned it once we turned it because the salt and pepper doesn't adhere well when it is rock-solid frozen. After each side was seared, we turned off the center burners and moved the steak to indirect heat to finish cooking. For a primer on direct and indirect heat, read this. Once it was 130°F in the center, we took it off the grill and let it rest for about 7 minutes. Once we sliced it up and sat down to eat, we marveled at how perfect it was. The steak was perfectly medium rare, juicy and had a great charred crust. It was so good and so easy that Matt decided it was going to be his new preferred method of grilling steak. Gavin Pinto, the test kitchen manager of Certified Angus Beef, CAB, told me if you can cook steak from frozen, the quality is more consistent. It's juicier because you don't lose as much juice as you do when you thaw the meat from frozen. If you love steak, you know that a juicy, tender steak is the hallmark of a great grilled steak. The tender part comes mostly from the cut of steak that you buy, but the juicy is up to the cook, so why not master a technique that keeps the steak juicier? This makes sense especially now when food and beef prices are high. You can buy steak when it's on sale and not worry about when you're going to grill it. And, you can have a steak dinner any day of the week as long as your freezer is full. This is not a method that I recommend with thin sandwich steaks because the center cooks through as it thaws. This method works best with thick steaks, steaks that are 1.5 to 2 inches thick and at least 15 pounds in terms of weight. There is a camp of grill cooks who swear that you will get less of a cooked gray ring around the meat if you cook from frozen. I found this to be true with a strip steak that is denser and more compact than the boneless ribeye, but found that to be less of the case with the ribeye. But that also worked in my favor because the outer curved ring of the ribeye is the coveted ribeye cap, or Spinalis Dorsi muscle, and I find it to be much tastier cooked almost through.